What's up, guys? I'm a fish, and today I'm going to be continuing my Humanity Restart series. In the last video, I actually don't remember. I think India invaded Thailand. A union formed between Castile and Aragon, but then they got jumped by Portugal, Milan, which isn't really Milan anymore, and North Africa. And then Turkey split into two pieces. So first, we're going to look at the rankings, because South India has surpassed Central India with all their colonies. South India is becoming a very, very rich nation. As a matter of fact, I'd go as far as to say they're the richest nation. So they may be lacking behind in military strength, which is why they're number 3. But they are the richest because of the resources and money they are collecting from their colonies over in Africa and Southeast Asia. And starting off in this area, we are going to go to Central India, because they are going to be invading this small blue country right here. Oh, brush size is a little big. Okay, so it's going to start with forces that had been lining the border for some time are going to march through, immediately pushing past those two rivers. Hold on, let me turn major cities on. Yeah. All right, so they immediately capture 2 major cities and then push down the coastline here, capturing another 3. People here manage to fight back and retake a port city, but it doesn't last long as the Central Indian Army regroups and pushes back into the city and pushes this blue country all the way to their capital city and taking it. It's going to be a very short war, and we're going to look at the peace treaty. As you probably expected, there's full annexation. But after this war, there's going to be one more person joining the Triangle Alliance, being this coastal nation right here. Oh, let me turn brush size down a little bit. So there we go. Now, this means that Central India is now completely encircled by, like, their northern border is now completely lined with the Triangle Alliance. And they can't push south because that's not a war they want to fight against South India. And as a matter of fact, Central India is going to be allying with South India. Why does that look like that? Whatever. The two are going to create the Rhombus Alliance. And we're actually going to be seeing some other powers, not powers, but countries joining this alliance. The first one being Cambodia here. Because obviously they couldn't have the protection of the Triangle Alliance because this green country right here joined and blocked them from entering. Now we're also going to be seeing countries on Persia's border join, such as this country right here, and this country right here. Now, the reason they are joining this alliance is because they seek protection from... What the? Hold on. The reason they're joining this alliance and the Diamond Alliance instead of the Triangle Alliance is because they feel that Central and South India would be able to protect them better than the Triangle Alliance could. Because, I mean, the Diamond Alliance, it just formed. It already has the number 3 and number 4 powers. The Triangle Alliance has the number 10 power and a bunch of irrelevant countries. Now, sure, some of these irrelevant countries share a border with them and will be able to help them easier, but not against Persia. Persia could easily wipe through this in all of these countries right here. But there will also be one more member joining this alliance. That being Ethiopia, the number 9 power. They're going to join this alliance because of South India's presence in the Horn of Africa. With their proximity to Ethiopia, they one were scared of South India, and two, Ethiopia hates the Circle Alliance here, um, because Ethiopia wants control of Yemen. What is happening? Okay, they want control of Yemen, but because of the Circle Alliance, that can't happen. Um, and Ethiopia feels that with South India's like being allied with South India would help them a lot in a war with the Circle Alliance. Oh, and this country is going to join too because they don't like they want sea access, but Myanmar isn't letting them, and obviously they can't go through Vietnam; they would lose that war. Um, yeah, that is all for the Diamond Alliance thus far. Immediately after the formation of the Diamond Alliance, we are going to jump to Persia here because they themselves are going to be declaring war on one. See all this occupied land that they claim, not occupied, that they claimed they owned from Turkey. Well, now that Turkey's gone, they can easily take this land. And they're going to do that. They're going to immediately send forces up here to the edge of the claimed territory to cut off the occupied lands, the claimed lands from the rest of Caucasia. More forces are going to push up the Caspian coast and immediately capture all of it, and then the two sides will begin pushing in on the Caucasian country. Major cities. So yeah, they're going to pretty easily capture all of that land, and really, once they march into the capital, yeah, Caucasia really didn't really stand a chance here. So this is what this peace treaty looks like. Yeah, as you can see, all the claimed territory was annexed by Persia, and Caucasia is left as just this little coastal nation on the Black Sea. Oh. Oh, that's not good. That sucks. Oof. Yep. Yep, that sucks. Caucasia's gone again. What they were here for like 2 episodes? 3 maybe? This is episode 23, yeah, so yeah, 3 episodes. They're already dead again. That sucks. Anyway, yeah, now Persia's realizing that Ukraine might be a threat too. Um yeah, so a new challenger approaches. Except not yet, because Ukraine's not Persia strong yet. So anyway, let's go somewhere else. So do you remember in the last episode, before Portugal invaded into Castile and Aragon, I explained that they wanted control of all of Galicia, and the fall of Turkey was exactly how they planned to accomplish that, until 3 foreign powers moved into Iberia. So there's now 2 other Iberian nations they can invade, and they're going to start with this little Andalusian country right here. Although I don't even know if I can call it because it's barely. Most of its territory is in Africa, but its capital is in the. Anyway, what the. Okay, tolerance. Anyway, yeah, they're going to start invading. And they're going to pretty easily reach the capital here. But they will struggle to get across the Strait of Gibraltar until that happens. Oof. Yep. That sucks. Anyway, let's look at this peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. Yeah, each side. Okay, the North Africans annexed the half that was in Africa, and the Portuguese annexed the half that was in Iberia. Down here, we can see a new nation that formed from people fleeing from the African part of the nation to establish their own nation. And that happened a few times in Africa. Well, not exactly from war and stuff, but new nations and the expansion of pre-existing nations. Um, so yeah, we got Nigeria now, we got Gabon and Congo, we got Tanganyika, and I think this is, see, that's Mozambique. So this part is part of Mozambique. What's next to Mozambique? That's Zambia. Yeah, I think that's Zambia. You know, because this is Congo, and south of Congo is Zambia. So yeah, that's Zambia, and we got South Africa. Anyway, so over here in Wisconsin, we are going to see something similar happen. There's not going to be any war, but after annexing all of this land in Ontario, it's going to prove difficult for Wisconsin to um, integrate it into its core territory. Now, there's not going to be any revolts or revolutions, but there is going to be. Hold on, let me find a good color. Sure. There is going to be a few groups of people going across the lakes to get to Michigan, and they're going to be forming a new nation. That's all we're going to see out of North America for this video. So, after Persia's invasion of Caucasia right here, it's actually going to convince even more nations to, even more surrounding nations to join an alliance. These two nations right here, oh, wait, brush size. These two nations right here are both going to join the Diamond Alliance, while this nation right here is going to join the Circle Alliance. And over here in Central Asia, we are going to see some sort of like Central Asian League form between all four of these nations. So next, Ukraine is actually going to get itself involved in a war. Ukraine is going to, see, looking at the trade routes, a pretty important trade route is pretty easily conquerable for Ukraine here. And that trade route is going to be the Maltese routes going into the Black Sea. I used this as an example in the last video when I introduced trade routes, but I decided it's actually going to happen. Ukraine is going to make a landing in the capital city of the Bosporus country. The forces are going to both push in opposite directions, taking as much territory as they can, immediately conquering that port city and this city right here, and pushing up to the border of Bulgaria. Now, the Bosporus country knows it doesn't stand a chance against Ukraine, so it's actually pretty early going to surrender, because they know Ukraine wants the ports, or specifically this city right here, their capital. So Ukraine is only going to take those two provinces, and the capital city of the Bosporus country is going to be moved to right here. Now, a lot of people in this purple country, they're not happy with how easily their government just gave up their homeland, their capital city. So we are actually also going to see, again, let me find a good color. We are going to be seeing the European parts of this country break away. And there's really nothing it can do about it, since it doesn't own its land bridge anymore. I mean, they're still right here, it's right next to it, but they don't want to fight right now. And the capital of this new country is going to be in the only major city in that country. So yeah, that's that country done. And for the final event in this video, we're going to be going to Turkey. You see, after half of their country split away, the people in Turkey had mixed opinions on it. some people were saying that they should invade the newly created country um, and take back their rightful lands and reclaim the empire, while the other half, particularly the half that borders this new land, doesn't want to do that. So, I'm going to see half of Turkey split away once again, and the capital is going to be right, right there. Yeah, so that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.